like jazz, Trista?
Really?
Hey guys, you are here in the Simpleton Review, and we are so glad you've joined us because we don't know what we would do if you weren't here listening to us talk. And we only know that you talk or listen to us for about 25 seconds, which means you're about ready to click off, and we really appreciate that too. No, we don't, you jerks. All right? Listen to the rest of the review. It's only 10 minutes long. You can spare 10 minutes of your ridiculous life. All right?
Or my ridiculous life.
I'm Simpleton number 1. And
I'm Simpleton number 2. I'm Charlie.
yes.
I'm Simpleton number 3. I'm Lem, and I'm gonna add a Subway Surfers video under everyone else's video. Pull the TikTok thing. That way, people do watch us the whole time.
Yeah.
A Subway Surfer?
You have not seen that meta? Subway Surfers is like a game where people just like run and collect
throw in the
coins.
shade.
And
There you go. That'll do it.
And people do it on TikTok videos. They'll put a video on top and then Subway Surfers on the bottom because it helps their retention rate.
What are Subway Surfers?
It's an old app that it's like. Do you remember Temple Run?
No.
Oh.
He's too old. He's a goner.
Remember.
They're like old iPhone games that were like some of the first ones, probably.
Well, anyway, I'm Simpleton number 4. I am Trista. Hi.
Well, today we're here to review the brand new album from Squid entitled O Monolith. If y'all don't know who Squid is an English post-punk band from Brighton, England. They consist of a lead singer and a drummer, Ollie Judge, guitarist Louis Barlays, and Anton Pearson, bassist Laurie Nankivel, and keyboardist Arthur Ledbetter. I apologize, folks, if I've massacred your names, which I definitely have. They've only been around since about 2016, released their EP in 2019, and they released their new album here just recently called O Monolith. And you know what? I'm gonna go first because it's my podcast. You guys are just here to support me.
We're the sidecast.
You're the sidecast. That's right. I really like this band. I'm pretty sure I heard them on All Songs Considered. My brain's old, as Trista has pointed out multiple times this episode already. So I don't remember exactly where I heard it, but I listened to the whole album. I actually really quite like it. I thought things were used, they were used conservatively. Like, they could have overwhelmed us in, like, the horns, but the horns were used very conservatively, you know, just in certain sections. I actually thought the vocals were pretty good. I think the singer sang in certain places and didn't have to sing in other places, and I just thought it was all around a really decent album. You know, one of my biggest complaints when it comes to reviewing music is what? It all sounds the same, right? I get annoyed when every single song sounds like the song I just heard. I am glad to report that this album does not suffer from that syndrome. Now, do they have the same style overall? Yes, they do. It's definitely them. You could turn that song off and maybe put another song on 20 minutes later after listening to a few other different bands, and you'll know it's this band. There's a style. But their songs did not suffer from, hey, let's do the same 4/4 time, the same guitar lick, and, you know, the same bass line. It just didn't suffer from that, which I really appreciated and really enjoyed. So I liked the album overall. Who's next? Let's not all
Come on,
talk at
step up, you youngins.
Chuckles, go for it.
Oh, man. So my thing is that there is a lot of reminiscence to the noise rock groups of like Pavement and Sonic Youth, and like I notice all of that because that's what I listen to, and this one suffers some of the same sound things that annoyed me about their bands. Is that the lyric was like, it was written like beat poetry, which kind of annoys me because it's like it's just like single or dual like dual syllable words paced out just a little bit, and then we get a little phrase, and that kind of thing annoys me because it really didn't say anything. So why even do it? I mean, and I get it, it's an expression, but at the same time, the sound in the background was phenomenal. The noise that they got to choreograph together to make their sound was amazing. So me, I'm like tied up because, you know, the vocal drove me crazy most of the time. But at the same time, you know, I'm the same with Pavement and everything else. It's like, okay, so we got with Pavement, it was a child singing an adult song. It almost sounded like most of the time. And these guys, it's just an annoyance, but at the same time, they nail so many different sounds in there. It's almost like listening to There Will Be Blood soundtrack from Johnny Greenwood, where they use hammers and everything to like make the sounds.
Yeah,
you could tell that they layered in so much stuff. But if you listen to the soundtrack, they cut all that out. So I mean, you have to unfortunately, you have to listen to everything to get the full sound.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, the same kind of thing like with Starflyer 59. But see, that's the thing is I like the music on Starflyer 59. I don't like his voice.
Exactly.
Starflyer,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So and that's a noise band as well for sure.
Huh?
So all right, which one of you two youngins want to go next?
Do you want me to go, Lem?
Yeah.
Do it, go.
I don't really have a whole lot to say. I think overall, I don't think this was my kind of music. I don't know why, it just didn't sound right, and I'm not a music person. I don't know very much music lingo. Something just didn't sound right in it to me, and I couldn't get around it, and I kept hearing it in every of the songs, and it ruined the whole album for me in a way. And it sucks because the lyrics themselves, or the singing, wasn't awful, or at least not to me, but I don't know, there was just something about it that didn't sound right, and I couldn't get it out of my head, and so just wasn't a huge fan of it. And
Did you ever see the movie Juno?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your favorite line about Soundgarden, or what was it about Sonic Youth? What you're listening to is all of it is just noise.
Oh, yeah. Listen, and it's weird because I like a lot of really weird off-the-wall kind of music, but I don't know what you call it when there's a specific thing about music that just sounds right. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but if there's not a certain sound to it, it doesn't sound right to me. And this album fell into that, and I just couldn't get it out of my head.
But you can't really tell us what it is.
I can't. I don't know what the word is. I don't
There's a heavy dissonance in it. I mean, there was no harmonic to it. There's it was all meant to keep you on edge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, that's kind of the point of the bands that I'm talking about. Is everything's meant to keep you kind of on an awkward edge.
Right.
Some of them do it really well, though, and that's kind of the sad part. And I've liked other people that have done it before. I'll remember in an hour when I'm not thinking about it again.
But I'll tell you, if you turn on Deerhoof, you'll find the same problem. It's just a little awkward, and it'll keep you on your edge. Yeah. So.
Do you like jazz, Trista?
Really?
See, I knew that was going to be the answer because jazz is something it's very dissonant. It doesn't resolve. Most jazz does not resolve, and we especially our modern American culture with the pop songs we listen to. We want those songs to follow a specific beat structure, usually 4/4 time, and it has to resolve. There's always resolution in our pop songs, almost always. You can take that to the extreme with with electronic music, right? 4/4 time to the extreme, man.
Yeah.
It's just, that's all it is, right? Just this bomb, 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 bomb beat. Sometimes it gets really annoying, depending on the environment you're in, right? To me, at least. If I'm at a dance club, it's not gonna be that bad. If I'm sitting, listening to the song, I'm like, okay, 30 seconds is enough. Moving on. But jazz is dissonant, and this is the same kind of thing. That's why some of us like these kind of more noisier bands that have this kind of, because it's that. I hated jazz when I was younger. Jazz is something I think usually, and I could be wrong, but I think jazz is something you have to grow into, right? You have to learn how to appreciate. It's not something that you can initially listen to, not most people, maybe I'm wrong, and go, wow, that's really cool. But I'll tell you what, I used to think I didn't like jazz, and then I kind of okay, I kind of like Louis Armstrong and stuff like that because he's more pop, poppy type stuff. And then I started listening to a little bit more dissonant, and then I listened to this album by this guy named Miles Davis. It's called Bitches Brew, his name. And it blew my freaking mind. It was like fireworks went off, and maybe I just took a mushroom. I don't know, but I was like, what is this? It's so amazing. And ever since then, I love jazz, and I can listen to probably the most dissonant stuff you put in front of me. I don't like elevator jazz. I want to listen to jazz, baby, if I'm going to listen to jazz. That's all I'm going to say. So don't give me Kenny G, give me Miles Davis. I'll be good. All right. Moving on. So, Lemuel, go ahead.
I
Give us
don't.
your 2 cents.
I don't really know what else to add. I agree with Charlie that there were a lot of interesting sounds. It was really fun to listen to how they like danced around each other. The voices in the Siren song, I think they would called it. The second or third track.
Siphon song? Or
Siphon. Something like that, yeah. I liked a lot. The voices in the background that were just dancing around whatever the weird robot
Siphon
voice was
song,
saying.
yeah.
I listened more to the little choir in the background than the actual guy. So
I really liked the track. If you had seen the bull swimming attempts, you would have stayed away. I liked that. I thought it was just.
It kind of made me think of like a Pink Floyd epic.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
in the early
it had that kind
days.
of feel to it, right? Yeah, yeah. I liked their use of electronics. I liked their use of horns. Like I said, they just kind of did it just enough. It was sparing, and I don't know. I really kind of liked them. So let's go ahead and give our scores. We'll start off with Lemuel since he was the last to tell us what he thought. Go ahead.
I think I'm going to give it a 3.5. I think it's certifiable. I think there's a couple tracks that I will throw on my Spotify and listen to, especially driving around. I feel like this is good driving music. That's all I have to say about it.
Right on, right on. Trista, you're next.
I'll give it a 1.5.
Whoa!
It just wasn't my thing, and I'll just leave it at that. I just didn't care for it. I don't know why. I couldn't get it. So 1.5 for me. I'm sorry.
So your whole score is based on whether or not you liked it, not whether or not it was. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Isn't that the basis of a rating?
I'm just giving you crap because you're fun to tease. All right, Charlie, you're up next.
Actually, I'm gonna give it a 3. I feel like I don't like a whole lot of the tracks, but even if I didn't like them, the production level is really high. Even though the voice throws me off, most of the band, if I heard them at the Neurolux where they kind of like mix out some of the voice so it's not so strong, I would have loved this band. If I would have heard them live, because for some reason I don't pay attention to lyric. Because there's a lot of things that my brain tends to shut out when I'm listening to music, and the first thing to go sometimes are the words, just because they don't make any sense to me and what their songs are about. And so, like, I would have thought this was a great band. So I'm gonna give them a 3.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. Great. I'm gonna go with Lemon. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. I believe if we've decided that this is their first full-length album. I think for their debut album, as it were, I think 3.5 is a solid score that gives it certifiable in my book. I think you guys are great. You got a great future ahead. I look forward to seeing where the future takes you guys and see what other kind of new music you guys put out. And hopefully you guys will hit the States soon and maybe come to our little music festival here in this neck of the woods called Treefort Music Festival. What I would really love to do next year is maybe do a Man on the Streets episode for Simpleton and do some Treefort stuff.
We could bring
That'd be
our
amazing,
cameras.
wouldn't it? Yeah, wouldn't that be fun? I think it'd be great. We should do that. Hey guys, thanks so much for joining us here at the Simpleton Review. Go check out Squid's new album, O Monolith, right? Monolith. And if you have heard it, please let us know in the comments. If you haven't heard it and you think we're dumb and we don't know what we're talking about, especially Trista, then please let us know in the comments below. And please like and subscribe to our channel. We would love to have you, and we all love Trista. She's amazing, and we are so glad she is here. She brings what we call class and culture to the Simpleton, because we went 3 years without having it. And
I just have no taste in music.
No, that's not true. You have your taste in music, and that's just fine. We're just giving you crap. So, thanks so much for joining us here at the Simpleton Review. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.